From the KPIX 5 newsroom, this is Bay Area Nightbeat on KBCW.
Now on Nightbeat, new finding. Nightbeat's Kristen Ayers on the alarm being sounded by activists for police accountability. Kristen?
The audit found that Oakland police failed to report use of force on a number of occasions. But tonight, activists are taking a closer look at the numbers and say they're finding even more disturbing information. The audit from the Office of the Inspector General confirms what Oakland's independent monitor already suspected. Uses of force are not always being reported in accordance with department policy and procedures. According to an audit of 47 cases, officers failed to report that they had pointed a gun at or physically tackled a person on 17 different occasions. Oftentimes, the subjects were people of color.
This audit specifically calls out the fact that when Oakland Police Department officers used force against African Americans, they didn't report it.
Henry Gage of the Oakland Coalition for Police Accountability says another disturbing highlight of the report, a misuse of body cameras. In 18 different incidents, officers either turned their body cameras on late or turned them off too early. In a written response, Oakland Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick said officers were undergoing additional training on use of force reports and body cameras, and the department is now exploring using technology that tracks when officers unholster their firearms.
She took steps to remedy them. She took steps to ensure their officers were trained properly and to help resolve some of the ambiguity in these policies. But that's not enough. Some of the issues with respect to supervision and the body cam activation and deactivation, those are more reflective of what seems to be a deep-seated problem within this department.
On the plus side for OPD, the audit found no instances of officers using unreasonable force. The Oakland Police Commission now plans to take up a top-to-bottom update of the use of force policy. In Oakland, Kristen Ayers on the Nightbeat.
We are learning new information tonight on the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting. The coroner now confirming the gunman in the shooting killed himself as police closed in. 19-year-old Santino Ligon is suspected of killing 3 people and injuring more than a dozen others. Initially, the chief said officers killed Ligon.
The 3 officers shot at the suspect, striking him multiple times. The suspect went down to the ground. He was able to shoot himself in the head, which is why it results in a cause and manner of suicide.
As of now, the motive for that shooting is still unknown. And San Jose's police union tonight canceling its fundraising raffle with a semi-automatic rifle as the prize. The union had been selling $20 tickets to benefit the police chaplains program prior to the Gilroy shooting. Now the union says it is canceled after complaints it has been in a poor taste. Tonight, the death toll is rising in a cliff collapse at a popular beach north of San Diego County. We've just learned 3 people are now dead after a huge slab of earth broke off, burying the beach below. You could see from above the scattered beach chairs and towels. Witnesses to the tragedy were shaken by the sudden collapse.
Everyone around was just like a calm sense, of like panic, you know what I mean? And like, what do you do? And there's nothing you really can do other than just pray and hope everything goes okay.
Authorities are worried about a second collapse, but a soil engineer says the structures on top of the bluff are safe. A similar incident killed a woman at Fort Funston in February. A large section of sand collapsed on a woman walking her dog. Officials say these are naturally occurring events along the coast. And tonight we are learning there have been several falls at Yosemite this week, one of them fatal. Emergency crews responding to 2 calls at Bridal Veil Falls, both involving hikers who slipped on the wet rocks. The second call there on Wednesday was a 21-year-old man who died. And the third call just yesterday was at the base of Lower Yosemite Falls. A hiker slipped off a boulder into Yosemite Creek where they were trapped underwater until bystanders came to help. Rangers had to carry the person out. There is no word tonight on their condition. So we told you about lift bikes catching fire earlier this week, and now we are learning that it is not just happening in San Francisco. The fires appear to be starting in flammable battery packs from vandalism, and now the Mercury News is reporting there have been 2 fires in San Jose and Berkeley. No one has been injured, but Lyft has removed its black and pink electric bikes from the East Bay, San Francisco, and San Jose while investigates. Let's take a live look right now at SFO, where big changes are coming for travelers. In just a few weeks, when you pack your bags, you're going to want to pack your water bottle. Nightbeat's Maria Medina says finding a way to quench your thirst is going to get a little more complicated. Maria?
SFO is no stranger to sustainability. It's installed solar panels and Xeriscape, but now the airport is taking it one step further. If you fly through SFO starting August 20th, you may want to bring your own reusable water bottle. That's because businesses will be banned from selling plastic water bottles. SFO is sending an SOS for the environment by creating a rule on H2O.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Banning all sales of single-use plastic water bottles in restaurant shops, cafes, and vending machines. Instead, water will be sold in recyclable aluminum, glass, or compostable bottles.
We can't go on like this. We have to put a stop to all the plastic.
The move is in line with the airport's effort to reduce landfill waste and energy use, and also in part with the 2014 ban of the sale of plastic water bottles on San Francisco city-owned property.
I live in New Zealand, and we've just recently introduced a law to outlaw single-use plastic bags. And at first we felt like, that's going to be way too hard, can't do it. But you know what? It's easy. So people get used to it.
I mean, plastic obviously is not environmentally safe, but on the other hand, what are we going to do?
Travelers can still bring their own plastic or reusable water bottles. On the other side of TSA, SFO's installed dozens of hydration stations that disperse water for free.
I guess that's a sign of the times. No plastic bags, no plastic bottles.
Some would say the sign of better times, as SFO does its part to help the environment.
It's a simple thing to do to help the earth. Yeah, I absolutely support it.
And according to the SF Chronicle, airport staffs told vendors to provide only compostable foodware, including condiment packets and containers. SFO's goal is to become the world's first zero-waste airport by 2021. On the Nightbeat, I'm Maria Medina.
We are tracking new developments in the death of Saoirse Kennedy Hill. Officials say an autopsy today found no trauma to her body, but an exact cause of death has yet to be released. Officials say she died yesterday after being found unconscious at the Kennedy compound. There are published reports quoting family sources that it was a drug overdose. Some of the Kennedy clan was seen returning from a sailing trip, what has become a tradition for the family following tragedy. Neighbors in the Massachusetts community have lowered their flags to half-staff tonight. Well, rap star A$AP Rocky should be back on U.S. soil in the next few hours. The rapper was seen with a big smile on his face as he left a Stockholm court today. The court releasing him while he awaits the verdict in his assault case in Stockholm. A video captured part of the confrontation. The rapper pleaded not guilty, saying he was only defending himself. The alleged victim, however, says the rapper and his entourage kicked and beat him while he lay on the ground. The development caught the attention of the president. President Trump welcomed the news, tweeting this, quote, A$AP Rocky released from prison and on his way home to the United States from Sweden. It was a rocky week. Get home ASAP, ASAP. The verdict set to be announced on August 14th. In the meantime, President Trump resuming his search next week for a new nominee to head up his intelligence agencies. Nightbeat's Katherine Johnson says his first choice was withdrawn after just 5 days.
Less than a week ago, President Trump named John Ratcliffe as his choice to succeed Dan Coats as Director of National Intelligence. On Friday, the president said that Ratcliffe had withdrawn from consideration.
I asked him, I said, do you want to go through this for 2 or 3 months, or would you want me to maybe do something else? And he thought about it. I said it's going to be rough.
Ratcliffe is in his 3rd term in the House, where he's known as a vocal Trump supporter. He was outspoken at the hearing for former special counsel Robert Mueller last week.
Time is short. I've got 5 minutes. Let's just leave it at you can't find it, because I'll tell you why. It doesn't exist.
Some had questioned whether he was qualified to be the nation's top spy. Ratcliffe's congressional bio claims he put terrorists in prison during his 4 years as a prosecutor and U.S. attorney for Eastern Texas, but his name does not appear in court documents for any terror-related cases. Sources tell CBS News President Trump was nonetheless caught off guard by Ratcliffe's decision. The White House had fully expected the congressman to stick it out, despite the lukewarm reception he'd gotten from some Republicans.
I'd rather not address that until I've actually had a chance to meet him and discuss his background and qualifications.
Mr. Trump believes Ratcliffe would have eventually been confirmed.
A lot of the Republicans didn't know John, but I think he would have had good receptivity, and he was getting that.
The president said he would soon announce another nominee. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, the White House.
Coming up, finding an affordable home in the Bay Area. The answer might be just a short ferry ride away. And racist graffiti leaves a Bay Area neighborhood shaken, but tonight a man is under arrest. What police say was behind the attack. And the strange way one state is cleaning up its car problem. But don't worry, it's not what you think.
Fish are certainly biting there. Maybe you're going fishing with your family this weekend. Any outdoor weekend plans, there will be some of this fog, but there also will be temperatures climbing 10 degrees in a different part of the Bay Area. I'll explain. Have your weekend forecast coming up.
Well, new tonight, it's one of the few Bay Area cities where you can still buy a home for less than $500,000. Nightbeat's Betty Yu shows us what you get in Vallejo.
So we get a nice galley-style kitchen.
This 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that's just under 2,000 square feet on Valley Vista is on the market for $475,000. That's about $10,000 more than the median sales price in Vallejo, according to Coldwell Banker Solano Pacific realtor Linda Darskavich.
The bidding wars have pretty much gone away. Houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. So it's great for buyers right now. You know, the interest rates are still very good.
Darskavich says priced out of most Bay Area cities, her clients say the affordable prices are the main reason they're now looking in Vallejo.
We're getting younger people starting families, middle-aged, kind of getting ready to retire.
Across the Bay Area, the real estate market has softened compared to this time last year. Coldwell Banker says homes in Vallejo are staying on the market for an average of 45 days right now. A year ago, it was 14 days.
I paid in the low 200s, and I got a 2-bedroom condo up in the Glen Cove area.
Vallejo native Colton Souza just became a first-time homeowner. He works as an HVAC technician and uses the ferry occasionally. Realtors say the terminal has become a big draw for those who work in San Francisco, which is about 30 miles away. Vallejo has had a reputation for crime, but residents say things have gotten better since the city filed for bankruptcy in 2008.
I've definitely seen it improve. I mean, it's got its faults like any town does. A little more than others. You know, when you say that you live in Vallejo, there's a bit of a stigma with that.
I feel like it's improved a lot, especially with having, when they started filming 13 Reasons Why. I feel like downtown Vallejo was more known, and I think the shops are still here.
On the Nightbeat, I'm Betty Yu.
Tonight, a man accused of spray painting racial slurs on 3 East Bay homes is under arrest. The vandalism happened in Bay Point early Wednesday, including the spray painting and a rock thrown through a window. African-American families live in the houses, but investigators believe the suspect, Alvin Brown, painted the racial slurs to try and hide his true motive.
Mr. Brown has a personal relationship with one of the victims of the vandalism. All evidence indicates this was not a hate crime, but rather an attempt by Mr. Brown to make the vandalisms appear to be racially motivated, and we are confident this is not the case.
Sheriff's officials are still investigating the nature of that relationship. Special honors for a Hayward veteran, one of the first African Americans to serve in the Marines. Private First Class Joseph Alexander was presented with the Congressional Gold Medal. Alexander was an active member of the Montford Point Marines from 1943 to 1946, the group of more than 19,000 Marines who broke the color barrier during World War II. Also, a very special day coming for a Sacramento vet. He's about to turn 100 years old and become the 3rd oldest living 3-war veteran. Retired Master Sergeant Nathan Allen Jr. served in World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam War. He joined the military more than 75 years ago.
I was a firefighter in the Army for 27 years. If it's a fire, you go to the fire and do your job.
Throughout his career, the one memory that stands out among the rest is losing members of his crew.
Only lost 2, and those wasn't because of fire. It was because they was riding the back of the damn truck, and he wasn't holding on to it.
Today, his military uniforms still hang proudly in a closet in the garage. As he approaches his 100th birthday, he says many ask for his advice. His answers, simple and direct. If you're thinking about joining the military,
be careful.
His advice to young people,
do what you're told.
What is he the most proud of?
Getting home.
And what does he want to do now?
Nothing.
Except when it comes to helping out his neighbors.
Every trash day, without fail, unless he's out of town, and that's how we know he's out of town, our trash can is pulled from the curb to the gate.
And he's done this for the entire block for the past decade.
It's not about the trash cans, it's the purpose of life. I have something to do, something to look forward to.
Now the community is sharing some love with their 100-year-old neighborhood treasure.
Birthday, dear Nathan. Happy birthday to you.
That is just awesome. Happy birthday, Nathan. And check this out. He has 18 grandkids, 40 great-grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and he turns 100 on August 12th. Happy birthday. Tonight, a South Bay pizza restaurant is holding a fundraiser for Gilroy shooting survivors. Tony and Alba's Pizza in San Jose is changing the name of its a la Gilroy Pizza to Gilroy Strong. Throughout the month of August, all proceeds from sales of that menu item will go to a victims relief fund. Some other fundraisers will be happening this weekend as well. Tomorrow, the San Jose Quakes will hold a silent auction at Avaya Stadium. Items up for bid include team signed jerseys, also some 2020 season tickets. And then on Sunday, check this out, there will be a 5-hour benefit concert at the Britannia Arms Pub in San Jose. If you would like more information on how you can help the victims of the Gilroy shooting, head to our website, kpix.com. All right, TGIF, it is finally Friday. We are looking forward to the weekend. What's the forecast look like?
Yeah, weekend's looking good. Not as chilly as yesterday. Not as warm as last weekend. It's kind of finding that middle spot. A little bit warmer as we head towards Saturday, the warmer day of the two. Outside tonight, some fog covering the Bay Bridge. Always cool. It's like a diffuse layer of fog, so you can still see through it. So a beautiful view there of the Salesforce Tower looking down on the Bay Bridge. Still checking out the Bay lights. But yes, there is some low cloud cover and fog. San Francisco 60, but Concord still 71. Concord only dropping to 60 tonight. Napa 57, San Francisco 57. Fremont Festival of the Arts this weekend. How about sunshine and 80 degrees? Sounds good. It's what you get. And the Stern Grove Festival, a mixture of sun and clouds, Sunday afternoon, 63 degrees there. Microclimate forecast. Santa Clara, we're looking at sunshine tomorrow, 84 degrees, and Sunday, a couple degrees cooler. Likely not a big change between Saturday and Sunday with a high of 82. So why warmer? Because yesterday was quite breezy and quite chilly. Well, we had a storm passing by to the north, kicking up a stronger onshore flow. That is now leaving. We had a ridge of high pressure that was pretty far from us. Now it's getting a little bit closer, so more of an influence on our weather. Less of an ocean breeze will lead to warmer weather tomorrow, but most of that warming will be inland, where highs will jump 5 to 7 degrees. A little bit of low cloud cover tomorrow morning. Sunshine in the afternoon, with the coast being the exception. It'll stay cloudy throughout the weekend. More morning clouds, more afternoon sunshine on Sunday. Futurecast next week, that ridge is gone. There's a new storm passing by to the north. We're all going to cool down, likely below average next week. So let's enjoy the warm while we have it. We will have it tomorrow. Santa Rosa, you'll make it to 90. Concord 93. Livermore 92. 84 beautiful degrees in San Jose. 86 in Napa. 75 in Oakland. 67 degrees in San Francisco. So still cool near the water. Warm to hot inland. A couple degrees cooler on Sunday. We'll cool down more, back to the 80s inland. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Below average for the second half of next week. But the weekend is looking good to get outside. That is your forecast.
Looking forward to that. All right, Paul, thank you. Game on! Andrea Nakano in the house tonight. Yes. You've got your game on. But do the Giants have their game on? That's the
I don't
question.
know. I don't know if I can deliver good news today.
Oh,
We'll see. The month of August is getting off to a rough start for the Giants. The Orange and Black are back to more of their early season form after their sizzling month of July. Manager Bruce Bochy treated to a farewell celebration in his final season series in the Mile High City. We go to the 5th inning, game tied at 2. Mike Yastrzemski blasts this to right 472 feet. It's 4-2 Giants. But in the bottom of the 6th, Colorado answers. Ryan McMahon takes Sam Selman deep in his major league debut. That ties the game at 4. In the 7th, Reyes Moranta comes in, and he had trouble throwing strikes. This double scores Charlie Blackmon, and the Giants go on to lose 5-4. Well, the A's have a rare Friday off, but they were still able to be part of the most interesting story in baseball today. 2 weeks ago, Nathan Patterson tried the speed pitch at the Colorado Rockies game, and he hit as high as 96 miles per hour. He did the same thing at a AAA game last year that went viral. Yesterday, the A's signed the 23-year-old to a minor league contract with Oakland's rookie league team in Arizona. So hopefully he can work his way up, and maybe we'll see him at the Coliseum one day.
It pays to tweet. That's all,
Exactly.
all I have to
You
say
know about that.
Right? Moral of the story. All right, Andrea, thank you. A Longhorn on the loose. The one guy who can stop the chaos waiting inside a museum. We're going to show you how it ended. Some pretty bizarre video out of Kentucky tonight, and we should warn you, it is literally shocking. Wow, take a look at that. That is how Fish and Wildlife have been dealing with this explosion of carp. The species is literally taking over some waterways. Officials use what they call electrofishing to shock the fish just long enough to stun them, and then they scoop them up and they count them, they test them, and then they safely relocate them. Crazy. And things even more out of control in Colorado Springs, where there was a longhorn on the loose for a brief time. It was part of a parade welcoming the rodeo to town when this cow made a run for it, jumping through the flower bed, stampeding straight into the local art museum. Yeah, she apparently met her match inside. When she exited another door, she had that lasso around her neck. The cowboy was attached, obviously, to the other end, and fortunately, no one was hurt. It all ended well. We'll be right back. See you at 11 on KPIX 5. Good night. On use of force by Oakland police, still not where auditors want to see it. Now the chief is looking to new technology to better monitor officers on the street. Hello and welcome to Nightbeat. I'm Veronica De La Cruz.